Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to a BeoTalk podcast number 348.
Wow,
Yeah.
there we go. Let's slide this over a little more like that.
Before we get to the shillings and whatnot, I won't be here for the next 2 weeks. So this will be our sort of summer break.
Sundays off. Sundays off. There we go.
I literally won't have off, but I won't be here, so
I will. Well,
yeah.
I don't think I will too because I just rented 2 storage lockers downstairs in my parkade, so I'll be moving the '90s boxes and everything down. I'm reclaiming my office and put the
Yay.
Lego in.
So you'll have an actual 2-bedroom again.
Yeah, well, I think that by the time you come back, the next podcast is going to have a different background because I'm going to move all this. I don't need to bring the desktop to the kitchen counter every Sunday. It's going to simplify things. It's going to be less B&O and more Lego in the background, I think. But squeeze in an emerge or something in there. Just
yeah. Oh well. Go to Skinny Play and buy some covers. Use the promo code for 10% off. As per usual, it's down below and now in the chat. I still don't know if chat playback is a thing that... I mean, it is on, but I don't know if YouTube still does it properly. I am doing it... Yeah, I'm screen sharing the old-fashioned way.
so I can't see.
Yeah, still
there we go.
Used to this new software. Like it's muscle memory. Like I've been doing it the other way for so long.
7, 8 years almost now, for God's sake.
Yeah. And then go back to the previous one. That was nice. This one from Tigrino Studio. Also with the promo code for 10% off every item. So if you get more than one item, get 10% off both, which is nice.
Indeed.
And come join our Discord if you haven't yet already. To be annoyed, moan, be amazed, get some actual help, get shit solved.
That's it.
Good place to be. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. And yeah, that's about it for now. How was your week?
Not bad. Same old story. Did some... You know what? I had a weirdest service call on Friday. I had a guy with Harmony and Stage where the B&O radio wasn't working.
Huh?
So has he missed a boat on migrating that? I factory reset both TVs. Well, first they fucked with the Harmony, right?
Yeah.
We turn on the Harmony and it goes to tune in some love radio, like just some random station. That's it. That's all you get. You can't switch. You can't go up. You can't go down. There's no more stations, just that one. And no B&O radio in the menu on the latest software. So like, the hell? And he didn't really have much plugged into it, blah, blah, blah. So I went to Apple TV, right? So fuck it. Factory reset the TV, repaired the 20s back to it, set it all up. B&O radio shows up in the menu.
Huh.
On the bottom, it has no line where it says BO Remote 1 TV or on the list on TV or music.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist. So you can't assign it to a source or a trigger. A. B. You shut it off. You press music. It defaults the B&O radio as a source, and you can't change it in the app for in-source behavior to do something different. And it doesn't turn on radio. It's just quiet. And if you open the app and you go select whatever ABC Lounge radio or whatever, it's just not available.
That is really strange.
So I'm like, okay, fuck. Like, I have an iPad with my account on it, right? So I'm like, let's take his TV, put it on my account just for the shits and giggles to see what happens. Put it on my account. Fucking factory reset to the sound center again, right?
Yeah.
Reset it through my app or through my account, put it on my account, reset it all up. and no BNO radio. Same on the stage. Factory reset it. It's on 6, whatever the software is, the latest on the stage.
How is that even possible?
Title shows up. Deezer is there, but he doesn't have, he just has his title login, so title was there. And BNO radio is not even a default.
Huh.
And on top of that, no CEC.
Ed has the same problem he just said.
Fuck. I wonder if it's something tied into the account, but it can't be because I changed it on mine. I don't know if it takes a while for that to like refresh, or did he miss the boat with the version of the app that had that menu where you migrate your shit?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't think Ed would have missed it because he's pretty into what he's doing with BNO. So I don't know if that's just the curse of the BNO radio.
Ed, have you joined our Discord yet? Because Willie's found the BioVision 12. I think it was.
Yeah. I think it was you. Yeah. If you want the tuner, the color tuna. I don't ask for it. I just put it.
I have not something. Well, it's slightly similar, but it's different, and it's not Beano Radio. But the Deezer music source has migrated to video sources.
That's messed up. But anyways, so irresolvable on the harmony, correct?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing I can do. I'm just like, okay, it's been a fucking hour that I had spent, back and forth in it. And also after I factory reset the TV, it closed.
Yeah.
It wouldn't open. I'm like, no, really, now I fucking got pregnant with this now. Shut it back off, unplugged it for a few seconds, waited, I think a minute or whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna give you a full one. Put it back in, lights blinks and a thing opens up, like tabak knock finally. Okay, so the TV is set. It's irresolvable as far as that issue is. So even through the product health center, there's not much you can do because it's not a Mozart, right?
Yeah.
You can do certain things, but I could see that it's logged into some 02CDZXX_2 as the username for TuneIn. Whoever the fuck that is, I don't know. But it defaults automatically into that with that one love radio station. And Deezer's not logged in, blah, blah, blah. You can see that, right? It doesn't show you the title in the PHC for some reason, the status of it. So I'm like, okay, I'll move on to the bloody stage. No CEC on the stage. From the panel, nor from the HDMI-A on the Apple TV. And they are identical Apple TVs, identical software.
Also, not just a setting because all the settings are correct, but just like it just doesn't work.
So I take the Apple TV from the bloody Harmony, right? It's Velcroed in. So I couldn't swap them physically, but I took them to experiment, right? So fucking peel that thing off, go to the bedroom, plug it into the LG HDMI 1, power it up. TV shows up, goes to Dolby Vision, right? Can't select Dolby Vision because the CEC doesn't work through the remote off of the panel. I call this, okay. Unplug it, put it to HDMI 3. It won't detect HDMI 3. Doesn't even show up in the app on the stage in hidden sources. Nowhere. It just doesn't exist, right? I'm like, what is going the fuck on here? Reset the bloody TV. Come back, blah, 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 do all the setup, all this nonsense to it. Pair it back with the stage. No CEC on both Apple TVs. I take the Apple TV that initially was on the stage, put it in the Harmony, fucking works like nobody's business. So put the Velcro one back, put the other one back, switch the cables, switch the HDMI-A on the thing, right? You can at least see the HDMI-A in the stage source, but no CEC through the stage, no CEC through the LG panel on the same 18.7 or whatever it is now, the Apple TV software on. Can't control it. And no BNO radio. I did the same hoopla that I did with the Harmony.
Did something die? Or did they have a lightning strike? Or I don't know, something?
No, like he lives in it's a very interesting place where he lives because it's like a more semi-commercial unit, I guess. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a very warehousey feel. It doesn't look like a neighborhood that would have power issues, but then again, we're in Montreal, so power issues are a very common thing. I for some reason, well, knock on wood, don't have power issues in my building. Every now and then I do lose power, but so far it's been only twice, which is way too frequent from what I used to, where I lived in Calgary for 23 years, I believe, almost, not
Yeah.
24, 23 years, and I don't ever recall a power outage experience.
So
So I don't
software
know if
issues.
it's a software issue, but it obviously has got to be a software issue. But how do you, like, the only thing that I didn't do is I didn't download, because I didn't have my laptop with me, but the only thing that I could think of is to download the fucking software from the product health onto a USB, right? Unplug the USB controller for the movement from the sound center, power it off, plug in the USB stick with the software loaded on it, and power it back up and see if it does its own, or do you go through the TV menu? I don't know, because I've never done it via USB on those TVs or on the sound center itself. And somehow reflash it? I don't know, because there's not even a service release for the Harmony,
Yeah.
nor for the stage. Like, there is no service release that you could either roll back the software a bit. On the BeoSound 2 that I have here, there is a service release, and it goes from whatever the 6 is now to like back to Stone Age of 2.0 something. It's very
Huh.
bizarre, man. Very, very bizarre. And there's nothing I could do, dude. And like, internet, excellent. Like, fucking connection, excellent. The Harmony's hardwired. There's no reason for it to be a, let's say, a network issue that of any kind.
Is he? And he's not on beta, I take it.
No, 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 no. I fucking was thinking of putting it on beta for just, to see, but there's nothing beta right now. I don't think in a hopper that
Yeah, not
addresses
for the
any of this
harmony or
nonsense.
the stage, really.
No, no.
And I mean,
So I,
auto updates were on, right?
yeah, dude, I went through everything. I went up, you know, the whole menu, even in the configure menu, right, of the stage when you go in, blah blah blah. No, there doesn't even show. Doesn't show at all.
People watching, if you have a harmony or a stage, do you have B&O radio?
Yeah.
Let us know. I actually never checked on my stage if I have B&O radio because I never use it in the bedroom.
Hmm.
So I've never checked it.
So yeah, that's my thing.
I mean, I have a feeling it may be the latest update that they mess something up, right? Because like I said, like in my theater, the Deezer audio bit is under video sources to the point where, like, if you go to
I
the
have never seen that. I've never seen that.
if I go to the remote, it's also gone from the remote. It's like I have two Deezers in my video sources under TV.
Do you have Deezer installed on the TV?
Yeah, as well. But
Well,
so
that's your
I now have
source.
two lines of Deezer.
Well, that's fucked up. But I think the problem is that you have Deezer installed on the panel.
Yeah, but why would that play with anything in the remote?
Because BNO. There's
uh,
no real rhyme and reason for it, but
yeah,
I
if I go
think it's
to
that.
sources.
But yeah, other than that, that was a real nutcracker. I was very disappointed that I couldn't, like, dude, after 2 hours, there's no way. There's just no way to christen this back to life. That was the one of the very few times I get my ass beat by BNO's nonsense. But to me, the weird thing is that it's on both devices. Babalola says I have the same issue with the CC. CC control only works when relaunch the
Yes.
BNO app on the LG TV. Oh, is that right? So I need to. Well, that's weird because I've reinstalled all of it. Like, I've actually, because I factory reset the panel as well on the on the TV, because everything that he's logged into the bloody Apple TV part. Okay. Yeah, Deezer, I see that.
And then at the bottom, there's another Deezer.
Oh, you got two Deezers.
Yeah, and one is the audio source. But if I go to the music tab, right, like literally there's no Deezer because it's just Beano radio and USB. Deezer's
And
gone.
what is that on Core?
No, on theater.
Oh, that's messed up, dude.
I mean, it still works, right? It's just in a different place. It's just every time I want to go to my remote to turn it on, I should have to guess.
Sergey says 2 Deezers under the TV is a software thing fault. It used to be a source under. Yeah, I know. I still. Do I? Well, fuck. Let me see. Yeah, I have Deezer on under music. I point like a grandpa. What the fuck is wrong with me here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, why are you pointing?
Let me just.
It's literally pointless to point.
It's better reception, bro. Yeah, no, I have it muted, but yeah, Deezer is there. I wish that this showed album art at least for a little bit, like the Harmony does.
Yeah, it's a better thing to have. It's more elegant. It's nicer.
So,
but I think it's just asking for trouble if you want to support that across all the brands that supposedly work with the theater.
I guess.
I mean, they still sort of sell it as a thing that does everything because of CEC, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
we never sell it really that way, dude. Very, very rarely that this thing goes under a Samsung frame. Very rarely.
Well,
or a Sony.
Mr. Biocom 1401, I think, on the Discord, it has nothing but issues with this new Sony.
I've had 2 clients that we've sold the theater to that had Sony TVs. One of them is Stefan.
Yeah.
And they both have G panels.
Now.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just works better natively. And I don't know, comparatively, like if you had them side by side, maybe you could tell the difference in processing of the colors and picture on the Sonys. But versus like if I were to take like that 5 to 7% improvement in picture quality, right? Versus a box of fucking Tylenol every Friday when I want to watch something, or every day, I would take the G panel, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I agree.
Does Sony have 5-year warranty on the screens? I doubt it.
I don't know, but it's Android based, which personally, that's
dangerous, man. Fuck.
It's not that I dislike Sony. It's that I dislike the Android base, and I've never seen any TV, even with a warranty, sort of act 5 years from now like it would when it's based on Android.
Well, that's most or less the story of the next generation Avant or NG or No Good, as they call it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's sort of like
at least the menu still works. You can still operate within the environment of your speakers and such, right?
Yeah.
But none of the smart stuff works in in its own operating system. B, I wouldn't even dare to use it because I think by doing that you tax the board even more for heat.
Yes.
So I would rather have that signal coming in from an Apple TV or a Roku player or your USB FireWire stick nonsense, whatever the fuck, something other than having it pull the source directly from itself.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking at the theater now, and there's not a list of supported TVs other than everything works with CEC or something. So. But we know that's not true, right? Because there was an internal list of definitely TVs that were and weren't supported.
Yes.
I mean, it's also so many people treat a standard like an optional thing, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's not really like they adhere to it, I would say, to about 60-70%, and then the rest is they make their own shit up around it.
Yeah.
But well, at least just like the whole world agreed on Wi-Fi, they agreed on power on and off, I guess, and a little bit of whatever sound. But other than that, CEC is a funny tool or funny protocol
Yeah.
sometimes.
The says the big difference between Android on TV and the newer Google TV Android platforms is that it's currently used both Android, but the newer platform is a lot better compared to the older basic. Yeah, I understand, but it's not like how good is it now? How good is it with like updates in 2-3 years from
5 years.
I mean, even quicker sometimes, right? Because some of the SoCs they use, you just can't update them because either there's not enough capacity in like RAM or memory, or it's no longer supported because Google says so, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't particularly love LG, but I like the way they keep it compatible. Like, I don't like my C2 in the living room is pretty old now for like modern tech, and I don't notice it.
Exactly. Same here. I'm pulling almost on 3 years of this G2 panel,
Yeah.
right? Do I see the difference? Honestly, between like in the showroom, we got G4s, the G5s are coming, right? Sometime soon, I guess, because there's a shortage still. But like I took the fucking same USB stick demos that we have in the store, right? And I plug them into my TV and I watched them one night. And I don't recall to see, maybe if I had it side by side, I guess, but I don't see any difference in, how much brightness it is because it's all balanced out and leveled, right? Like I have the auto power save on, which is the light sensor that balances the output of the display based on the lighting inside the room. I don't have it turned to fucking vivid, and I have the reduce the blue light feature on, which really brings it up to that old BeoVision Avant or a BeoVision-y feel, right? And auto filmmaker auto on. That's it. And now with the option that you have is going to that in the advanced pictures with the AI calibration, right?
Yeah.
AI assisted calibration. It does make a difference. Like I see that when I do it with people, when based on what pictures they pick, and boom, like once this processes that information and it comes back with a result, it's not like, oh my god, it's a day and night, but you can definitely see the difference in what your eye lacks to see. It compensates for that contrast, right? It may look fucked up to you because your eyes are right, but if theirs are not, that's what I said. Like we had this conversation once with a Jen on a job. I'm like, dude, you know what? If they like the fucking brightness 150%, so goddamn be it, dude. I don't care. Let the TV catch on fire for fuck's sakes. We're leaving. Like it's not your house. You're not
Yeah.
looking at it. I understand it's a bedroom TV and they want to have it on vivid. Let that shit be on vivid.
They can always change it. It's not hard.
Exactly. So, and like it's not everybody is molded the same way in understanding of how the picture's supposed to look or what's supposed to look, right?
Yeah, I mean, my living room TV doesn't like it's too old for that AI picture calibration feature, but my bedroom did, and
Mm-hmm.
apparently I like it's accurate or something. That's something it said after I was done. Like, okay,
I passed.
yeah. I mean, but even there, I have the power saving on just because it dims the light because like we don't have like our bedroom isn't fully like brightly lit when you
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
anything like in the dark and you like sit like, oh man, my eyes hurt, like I don't like that.
Like even my Avant in the bedroom, like I have the auto power save on or power save on high, right?
Mm.
And I went into the menu and I actually set it to, instead of being 255 peak max peak brightness of the LED backlight, I reduced it to 220. I gave it a lower range to glow because I don't watch the TV. Like I never watch the TV during the day in the bedroom, like unless I'm sick, which I'm not, thankfully. But yeah, it's a TV to pass out to, right? Mostly it just turns on, and the only picture that I see is whatever radio station's playing, and then I don't see it turn off, right? Or the display comes off, which is weird because I have it set to display always off, and it still turns on the panel for a second, and then it shuts off the screen afterwards. It never did that back in Calgary, from what I remember. But it is what it is. Doesn't matter.
I never had an
But
Avant,
yeah,
so I can't really comment.
but you know what I couldn't believe the other day? I don't know why I was digging through pictures in history on Googlies. I found the photo of the fan that I installed into my Avant's back panel, and I put it
Oh,
to
yeah,
chat,
yeah, the
and I
laptop fans.
fucking yeah, and I put it to Chat GPT, bro, and it freaking found it. So I'm gonna buy one of these.
Yeah,
Chat GPT, man, that thing is dangerously good.
keep your TV cool, make it last longer. It's a good idea.
Yeah, where is this? Oh man, I don't remember where this was put in. But yeah, I do have it. So
Go.
I'm gonna go and buy one, and then the pain in the butt of taking the Avant off and reinstalling it. What's are these? Huh?
Yeah,
David Lynch
yeah.
project.
The Hollywood director that passed like in January, his estate is up on an auction site, or part of his estate is up. His Beosound Century, like David Lynch was also the guy that made the $100,000
That's that
shape.
splash. Yeah,
Yeah,
the paint splash, right? That's the
yeah.
guy.
So I mean, as a Beosound,
That's what he had in his house.
no, he also had an
Okay,
Eclipse.
okay. I'm gonna forgive him that now.
The Eclipse is severely under. He had also a bunch of A5s. The A5 is like currently at like $500 or something like that.
Wow,
Uh,
that's a good deal.
I mean, this Eclipse is decent for one. Let's see. Like it's a bunch of Twin Peaks stuff and furniture and God knows what else, but there's a bunch of B&O stuff in between.
See, at the end of whatever you amass doesn't matter, dude, because that's not fitting in the casket.
Correct?
That's a lot of stuff
Yeah,
he has.
some A9s from that same edition.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's two of them. It's not one with like one is without cover.
Pentas, fuck. $4,000? Call this.
Yeah, and it's with a Beogram 5500 and a Beogram CD.
And it's
But
missing a panel.
yeah, I mean, you add like 30% charges to this. So by the time you can even pick it up, it's like $5,200 already.
No, you gotta put the pipe down on those pentas, bro. Like that's too much money for that. They're asking, wait, it's 22 bids already on it.
Yeah. It's
I wonder what the woofers are like, what stage they're in. Oh yeah, so it's a full stack system basically.
yeah, probably never touched since new.
Well, there's a bit of usage on that.
Oh,
There is a plate.
Yeah, it just fell off or something.
Or they don't have those little pin screws anymore, which are, I think they come from either Mercedes or BMW interior panel retainer pins.
Oh, those types. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's where from what I remember, that's what it is. It's from.
I mean, I do love this furniture piece that they used to make.
Yeah, I like it, but that one scratched the shit.
Yeah.
God.
So there was that. Like $800 for a Beosound 8.
That's fucking rich. Oh no way.
His shape is really cheap for $2,200.
That's what I'm looking at, dude. $800 for a BeoSound 8 iPod dock with 32-pin connector and most likely dead Wi-Fi board. Did it even have Wi-Fi back then? I think so.
Yes.
Because that was like the Playmaker beginner era when we started streaming. Oh, that Playmaker, man. And whoever has one still throw it in a tall grass for nobody to ever find again. But it worked at the time.
Yeah, so his shape is
Oh, it's 22 bits, but how many, or 12 bits, 2250? How much time there's left on this, or is it all gone down now?
no.
Done?
It's what is it? Another 10 days, 12 days, or something like that.
Hmm.
I mean, essentially, like there's a was it an H9i here? H9 as well. So like the estimates are so far off. Estimated
Oh,
100
dude.
to 200, and it's at 700. Like 1250 for like this.
Is
Sort
it
of
fucking signed by him, or like
no,
what?
previously owned.
That's all you have to go off with when you
Yeah.
have it? Ah,
So yeah, I mean, if you wanted to spend 100 grand at some point but missed out because it was sold out, like here's your chance to get your shape.
For $2,250 currently. I think you're probably going to end up at 5Gs with this
Yeah, but compared
at
to
the
the
end of
new
the day.
price of $100,000 David Lynch.
That's a feels bad. I hope whoever bought those never sees this website or at least this episode of the podcast too.
Yeah,
It
because
feels bad.
when that came out, I didn't really know who
Mm,
David Lynch was, and I remember
neither did I. Like
being
it
a
just
bit
popped
sort
out of
of
nowhere.
down about like what the fuck is this, and why the hell is this shape $100,000 because there's some paint splashes on canvas.
And is it actual paint or is it just
No,
printed?
it's printed.
Oh god, it's man, that's
I,
bullshit.
they made him a sort of cutout of whatever the shape was shaped like, and then you
They
painted.
put that on.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of this.
Sandeep, how can you not have heard of David Lynch? I know, I'm sorry, bro. He's got a lot of like vintage
Yeah, I mean,
nonsense.
he's the director of the original June films,
Mm.
like the ones from the 80s. I mean, Mulholland Drive, and like I think this is the original poster for Clockwork Orange that was banned in Britain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was too dark, and Britain was like wanted to sort of ban it, and instead of like getting with fines, I think the directors took it out of Britain to never literally show it again in Britain. So it's
Yeah. Okay.
so there's way too much of this stuff here, really. But that's most of the B&O stuff. I mean, it was into sort of like
Oh, I like the coconut chair. How much is the coconut chair?
20.
2250. Tabarnak, that's still cheap.
Yeah,
With the ottoman, fuck, that's like 7, 8 Gs. He's got two of them.
yeah.
He's got the brown one.
This one is slightly worn,
Oh, this
very
one is
very worn.
definitely that one's been chewed by the dog.
I like this Eero Saarinen chair.
That's a weird one. Very
I,
80s.
I bet you it's supremely comfortable.
Oh, I guarantee you it would be. Yeah, he's got some nice stuff.
He has a shit ton of tools as well. Like he has like table saws and bench saws and
I guess he was doing stuff, right? Like for the
yeah.
projects, you would need some of this.
I think
That's yeah, a lot.
somewhere there was a lathe in his house as well.
Fuck. It's got drill presses and
Yeah,
everything. Planers, shop vacs. Wow. And now we're into shoes. How many canes do you need? It's a whole collection of them too.
I think it's probably a bunch of stuff that you saw in films at some point or another.
Probably that. Look at that sterling silver tube cigar
Yeah,
tube. That's cool shit, bro. Look at that lighter. Is that lighter?
yeah, Tiffany and
With
Co.
with money clip and cufflinks.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I mean it's on the Discord as well. So there's a bunch of random like shit here. Like, why would you want to buy his like something he made in like primary school? Like his
Um, you hang that in a haunted house for God's sakes.
yeah.
He's got an old school TV. $1,500 for an RCA TV. Are you kidding me? Or is that like a video conference thing? No, it can't
I
be.
don't know.
Some sort of vintage nonsense.
It's all.
Crazy.
I mean, RCA TVs have shot up in value because like people want a retro game and nobody makes them anymore. But
My best friend's brother, he is into hobby of rebuilding these old arcade machines.
yeah,
So he's always on the hunt for those old tube TVs because that's what they always used for them, right?
yeah.
And apparently they're the best for that. Well, I guess it was era related too. It's a weird blue guitar. Yeah, it's a lot.
It's
Fuck,
a
like
ukulele.
everything, I guess. Eh?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. I guess everything is going.
I mean, you can even buy his old Keurig.
Fuck. I wonder how big his house was to have all that
I don't
stuff in
know.
it.
It was in Hollywood somewhere. It was probably sizable, but it was probably
Yeah,
also a
based on how
goddamn
much there is.
mess. Because
Could have been, yeah.
it was a bit of a hoarder, right? I mean, he loved his coffee, right? Like he had like there's another one that's a newer model, but he had two of these espresso machines in his house. So
5Gs. So the
literally,
new one
like,
is like what?
God, the other one on further up is like 7 or 9 Gs now. But
Jesus Christ.
I think new they're about 7.5 or something like that.
Wow.
But
And that
imagine
doesn't look
having
like it's
this
been
right
used
and
much.
then going, I can't be bothered to walk to the kitchen. I need another one over here.
Fuck. That's yeah, that's it. Oh, there's that. Oh, that's a sewing machine.
Yeah.
Interesting. Or a cutter or some whatever the fuck.
I had no idea I could, if I was famous enough, my ironing boards would be this expensive.
$600.
Like, this is like a $25 thing, right? But just because somebody famous, they put $600 for it.
13 bids.
Yeah, what the hell?
That's
I mean, a
scrapbooks and
bunch
stuff.
of.
Like some of the shit you put in your house, it'll be haunted. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get a soda. Yeah, some of the stuff I wouldn't even bother.
No, same. But it is sort of interesting. It's all pretty old. If you want a bunch of the old colored Eames chairs, was it the plastic dining room chairs or whatever?
Hmm.
Yeah, it has, what is it, 8 of them? Yeah, 8 of them.
Jesus.
I mean, I have 6 of them. They're quite, like, these are quite expensive, but
Yeah, they are.
this is a bit.
The colors are awful though. God,
Yeah, mine are white, just straight up white.
that's what I would have done. White with silver. They kind of match the crowns in the 90s on the bottom too.
Yeah.
At least in my eyes a bit.
Oh, does that mean you'll sell your 90s to me?
No. I'll just buy the chairs, motherfucker. I'll just buy the chairs. I'm actually like, it's not an internal dilemma, but it's also somewhat should I not bother? And I want to take off all the picture frames that I have here and just basically hang them in the hallway because the hallway's empty, and then slap a fucking shape on the wall
Yeah.
and put it as rear surround height.
Yeah, go for it. I would.
I wish you could split, but there is no way that you could split those two. Or I have 4 speakers, right?
Yeah.
So 4 amp outs. I wish you could split them in left, right. Because then I could do surround back and surround height, right? Within the same shape.
Well, maybe you buy another amp.
Fuck, you know how much they are now?
No?
Oh, dude, they got disgusting in price. I don't remember, but I think it's 2.5 at the least.
Ah, that's okay. Do you want to David
For
Lynch
rear
skate?
channels, for God's sakes. Oh, yeah, right. That's for Anders. He's probably bidding on it.
Yeah. Yeah, another One of these coffee machines, another 5 grand.
5 Gs. There you go. Fuck, like we had them in almost every room.
Apparently. If you really love
Vintages.
coffee, right? Like you can't be arsed to walk outside of your room to get more coffee.
Very interesting color choices, though. That house must have been very neglected in a way of how it's all put together.
Oh, for sure. I was interested in his toaster, but not anymore at $800.
No, that's insane, dude.
Like, I'm not paying that much for a toaster that's used.
Well, would you pay 60 whatever it is grand for a Biogram with a Lab 8?
Uh, 60 grand? No, it's like
Is it
35.
45? I guess Canadian.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it's 26 grand euro. So it's like 28, 30, something like that in dollars, I think.
So a lot of that price is basically those few digits that you get 1 out of 100 or whatever, essentially.
That's almost all the price. Yeah, it's I mean they are like the Silk 8s, so there is a premium for that somehow. I
Yeah,
think
because they're Atelier.
I think they are estimated at like 8.5, 9 grand or something, but like that still means that the record player this 3000C, oh, it's $30,000. So so this record player is like a good 20 grand out of this package.
Hmm.
Which is to me weird that like the 4000C is half the price.
Yeah, but that's that artesian walnut, certainly. It
Yeah,
gives on.
even so. I mean, as a record deck, the 4000 is a better record deck.
Yes. This one's sexy, though.
Oh, it looks very good. I'm just like, look, if they did this for like I don't know, somewhere between in American dollars, somewhere between 8 and 10, I would be sort of all in on it. Right? Like, yes, I understand. It sort of makes sense. Yes, it's really expensive compared to everything else. But who cares? It's sort of it's new and elegant, but old. But if this combo is 30 grand, that is a bit of an oof. KCBR says the
Yeah.
4000C is 15 grand at the moment. So the 4000C is still cheaper. Which is.
Is that program still in operation or running? Because I don't follow this
Yeah.
turntable nonsense. So if you send yours in for what, 4 or 5K, you can refurb it?
It's 5k euro, I think. And you send in a deck you already have. So if you buy one second hand, right, you buy them for like 2.5. So for like let's say 7.5, you're done.
Eric should have kept the totaled one and sent it in 2 boxes.
Apparently. I mean, I do
But
very much like how it looks. I'm not entirely over the moon with the clear acrylic because like these were always known for their like smoked
mhm.
acrylic.
But maybe that's the modernization change that has been decided in the design department. My problem with this, it's not the cost of it, because there are people that find this very special and buy it, and I don't mind it at all. My only issue is that we're really lacking on a new product and releases of something else, because we're doing nothing much but offsetting the profit costs to pleasure or please the investors and whatever the report to the head ponchos by increasing the prices on the products that's existing for quite some time now.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's my issue with it. I think they should finally, yes, good for you. I'm sure you're gonna sell them all out. That's great, and I hope you do. But we need something that is a little more substantial, and we're getting closer and closer to the November 17th, man. I'm very curious to what's gonna happen.
another thing, it comes with an MMC4, according to the
Call
pictures.
this, man. Really?
Like at least put an MMC2 in there.
Yeah.
Or go to Soundsmith and get the MMC one, not the even if it's not the voice one, it's fine. Evening, Steve.
Yeah. Hey, Steve.
I mean, you do get some Sounds Heavenly cables with it, as per usual.
Sweet.
Maybe this is why it's so expensive, Steve, and
That's
it's
right.
inflation.
Steve has blessed them. But I hope that they are doing something refreshing, something new. I don't think that my hopes and dreams are gonna come true, and are gonna be introduced with a new streamer of some sorts that is a screen and everything, like a actual audio master in old
Yeah.
B&O terms.
By the way, for people with a longer memory than a goldfish, right? Like, this was that B&O in what is it, Instagram reel? What this was about, like with the spinning stuff and like new metal
Yeah.
of like 3 weeks ago, or what is it?
Yeah.
I think you and I have known about this for quite a while now. That this was
Yes.
coming. I've known about it for I don't know, 2 months
A few
or so,
months,
3 months.
man. Yeah. But
I mean, in many ways, I very much like the execution of it. It looks very nice. Like
yeah.
I wouldn't mind owning it, but that doesn't mean I'm going out and purchasing it. Those are not the same things.
See, but for like the picture that is on the screen now, I could understand that dude doing it
Yes.
because he's fucking stacks, man. Like that's a lot of records. Like that's worth for me that money to spend on something this unique. The fucking speakers are standing on records, for God's sakes. Like, so.
This is a terrible way to keep your records, by the way.
Oh, I know. Feel bad for the bottom ones a lot.
Yeah, and the top ones are going to cup like crazy.
Yep. But maybe that's just for the picture.
I mean, I do very much like how these 8s look.
I wonder what she's telling him. Maybe she's like, "Are you gonna keep those there?" He's like, "Ha, honey." Yeah, you're funny. And then they took that picture.
I mean,
because she doesn't look like she's air drumming. She's got a drink in her hand and a command in the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's funny.
Another thing that's you only notice once you have one of these, because internally there's not that much difference between like a 3000, a 4000, a 5500. Like they're essentially mostly the same chassis internally.
Yeah, just less dust on the inside right now.
But one of the things you'll notice that is quite weird in operation is that you can't really put a record in with your hands at 9 and 3, because on your right side you're really close to the stylus.
Yes.
So you have to kind of do it like that, and because of where the dust cover is, you sort of have to tilt the record in and put it down, because the end of the platter is behind where the wood is, like.
Yes.
And these covers don't come off like on a 4000 or 4000C.
Well, they'll come off, but only once.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of, I've always liked these. I like the design. I like how this looks. It's just, again, it's a pricing thing. Like, holy moly, what a price.
It's another collector's item, dude. I think they should stop denying themselves or that self-denial that they're going through in the B&O, and just produce a modern Mozart platform-driven turntable. They have the tech. If they can rebuild these, they can definitely produce something that is on the, maybe partner up with somebody that I don't know, Clear Audio or whoever that does, crazy turntables. And I don't think that you really have to worry about your movement, because the suspension and all that is second to none on the market still.
Yeah, or they partner up with the Dutch company, the Minio, because they are working, and this almost looks very B&O-ish. Like it's the
Yeah, I've
stand-up.
seen that. That's crazy.
I mean, and it's, yes, it's expensive, but compared to like the 4,000 or now 3,000C, this is really, really cheap, right?
Yeah, it's a sick deal. That's pretty much it.
It's also extremely slim.
Yeah, it almost doesn't make sense. It's very cool.
I mean, it even looks nice when there's no record on it.
Hmm. And it reads from the inside, I guess.
Yeah.
Very neat.
And you can get it with like
Fucking walnut,
Yeah.
sickening. I would get that, just sit it down on the table. Put that. I don't even think that I have a Depeche Mode. I would have to buy another Depeche Mode record just to have it in there.
You know, I'm seriously consider getting one of these, but like, B&O could, like, I don't know, do a collab with these people. Surely for like, if you can sell a 3000C for like essentially X speakers 20 grand, right? Surely you can make a new record player.
Yes, 100% they can.
Because like,
Yeah, this is beautiful. I really like this. I dig it. I really dig it.
I mean, also when it looks like this, I almost don't care that it's maybe not the absolute best or like a Lindeck or whatever, right? Like, because it's almost more a showpiece than anything else.
Yes.
So
that looks very much like the idea of the 9000 when you actually display your record while it's playing.
Yeah.
Very neat.
So yeah, I mean, I would love for B&O to make a new modern record player, right? Like just, and apparently you can charge silly money for it and sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Just at this point, like, why recreate the past all the time?
Simple. Or simpler.
Yeah, it's just.
But that's what I don't understand, because at the end of the day, like if they remachine they still reproduce some of the parts, right? Like they still have to remake. They have it already in the CNC machines to cut this out
and all this stuff.
So yeah, I think they should just do it. I think they should do it. If they're like, just release a turntable that is a part of the portfolio, please.
I mean, that's another thing, right? Like this, most of these chassis of the 3000s, etc., are like, they're all plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want, is this like a new chassis, or is it like the old plastic from the 80s? Because that, depending on where it sits, especially if it sits in a very brightly sunlit room, that gets brittle over time.
Yes.
And
I don't know.
I like them a lot, but like also these are not raised, unlike the 4000C, like these sort of.
Well, that's an anti-static paint, or at
Yeah.
least it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it no longer worked on my 5500 when I had it. Like every time I took the record off, it's like.
Maybe the ground wire is broken off.
Yeah, I guess.
On the inside, it has to be. Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, surely you can make something new with an insane profit margin, and because like you can take something old with an insane profit margin.
Look at the 90s or 50s, for God's sakes. The 50s are price of 90s when they first rolled out of the production.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I do very much like it. It's a very pretty looking set. It's just the price is like, holy moly.
Yes. Yeah, and there's no app control, I guess, either. So they are not doing that. I really, they should have introduced that BeoConnect Core Mark II, whatever the heck it was, that does, or BeoConnect Encore, sorry.
Yeah.
That should have been a part of this too. Because, and that also should be something that should be in a portfolio, because if you have people like myself with the old 9000, it's easier to deal with it in that sense. But at the end of the day, you're still listening to the DAC from the era of the 9000 because it's a master link control. So I do prefer uh, my my way of playing it through the SPDIF, and then you control it volume of the 90s with the halo, and that's it. Works fine.
Yeah. I mean, if really if you have this sort of money to splash and it doesn't make a dent to you, I
Go ahead.
understand because it is pretty, and the eights are very good speakers. Would you get worth for your money? Sort of, but that's really personal, right?
Well, at the end of the day, maybe 5 years from now, those Lab 8s are going to be 15 Gs.
Yeah, that
You
seems to be
know,
the story of our time, right? Like, buy
well, look at
anything down.
regular rollout 90s are the price almost of the Samurai edition now.
Yeah,
So maybe it is a good deal in the long run. And again, B&O is a very weird company because nothing really depreciates in value. So, I could sell my 90s for the price I bought them overnight, more or less, and people would be happy to pay. Same thing with the 18s. If I sold them, if I wanted to get rid of all the stuff, it's easy to get rid of it because I would break even on the price that you'd be happy over because it's half the price of what it is now.
speaking of
So,
which, the price hasn't yet increased for the 90s, at least not in the US. So I hope they maybe us talking about it stopped it, or like maybe it's gonna be delayed and it's gonna be July 1st. But
I don't know, but I think they should stop pushing this nonsense up. But apparently, based on the stats that they're around, they are selling more 90s now because of the price increase and what they are, because people thought that they were like I guess the ultra high rich thought that they were too cheap. So apparently they're selling more 90s now in this price range than they ever have before.
which is
And if
insane
they
to
do,
me, right?
awesome. It's fucking crazy to me, but if it's that's what it is, good for you guys. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm happy with my pair. They're great speakers. Best speaker I had ever owned and probably ever will, bar none. Because I don't know how the hell you top this, honestly, unless you fly Jeff to fucking tune him in your house yourself or himself.
Uh, I am price sensitive, but apparently the mega rich are price sensitive inversely, which is like crazy. Like like were these people never ever like I don't know normal? Or like I would almost think like the only way that could work is if your parents were like extremely wealthy.
Yeah,
But if you let's say are I don't know somewhat of an Elon, right? Where you sort of grew up semi normal, right? Like you weren't poor by any means, but like you were also not like a 200 billionaire. I
yeah.
mean, I think you would sort of remember being like more expensive doesn't make it better necessarily.
Yeah, but I think I don't know if Elon's the best example because he's not one of those that walk to the money the same way
Or
like
a
a blind
Bezos,
chicken
let's
to a bag
say.
of grain. Yeah, well, he's now so rich that it's just like I'll buy him just so I can swing a dick type of thing, right? I think that's also the factor of it that like, yeah, these are 300. Just the way of saying it, more or less. That I think that's the prestige that people look. It's the same, I guess, if you buy a Rolex that unfortunately is made in fucking China, apparently, as all the rest of it for $1,000 or whatever it costs them to make it, and you dish out, you know, fuck, I paid in 2004, I paid $12,000 for my Submariner
Yeah.
two-tone, and now that watch is worth I don't know, maybe 20 something, I guess, or more because of the whatever. But you wear that and it's yeah, fucking it tells time. But yeah, it's I guess also how you makes you feel, right? That's a big thing of it, right? It's the same thing like chicks love jewelry and they hang all that shit on them and it looks so cute and blingy. I guess as guys we don't really have much to wear and show than a watch, really. Your status, I guess,
Yeah.
right? Or flex. I don't know where I'm going with this.
But yeah, I mean, didn't in Miami when you were there, like was it 2 years ago or whatever now? Like somebody sold 90s and then they sold another pair to the same people because they wanted gym speakers.
Yeah.
And they already the prices were a lot higher, and they were sort of like, well, now that they're six figures, I will spend money.
And the fucked up thing is, like, that house needed its own map, for God's sakes, right?
Yeah.
It's messed up sometimes. Like the houses that I see and go to, it's thank God there's a nanny or somebody, because I'm like, fuck, man, I don't even know how to leave, for God's sakes. Like,
It's like the fifth door from the left.
fuck, okay, where's the washroom? Oh, it's just down the hall. You're like, fucking down the hall where? Yeah, there's some, and especially here in Montreal, if you go to these old bones homes, like the rich Westmount area, that's yeah, there's some crazy buildings, and they're old, like they're old. And I think some of them were like, maybe, I don't think there was just one person living in them at the time. I think there was a few families, but now it's just this, oof, I'll buy this mansion. I don't think I would ever own a house that has 4 floors in it.
No.
It's too much stairs for me. And we've done a couple of homes like that where, obviously the rack is in the fucking bottom floor, right? And the house is on the hill, so no, understandably there are offset levels and floors. But yeah, there was one house that, thank God, I always carry walkie-talkies with me. People laugh every now and then, but you know what? Piss off, because if I'm in the basement, 4 floors in the bunker somewhere, there's no signal there. The radio will work, the walkie-talkies will work, but there's no cell antenna to, like, yeah, call me from the fucking electrical room, right?
Yeah, you're in the sort of Faraday cage anyway.
Exactly, and just buzz of all the, like there's like 6, 7 electrical panels, like how much magnetic interference that is producing just on its own. So yeah.
Disinfectant says Tivoli Hi-Fi Melbourne are selling their X-Demo Beolab 50s for 75k Australian dollars. They haven't been able to sell them for a few months now, even at discount. This stuff doesn't move. Well, I'm not so sure it's the discount necessarily. It's that they're X-Demo. Because I personally wouldn't care that much, but like there are a lot of people, like when they buy a car, right? Like my car is technically second hand. It had 600 kilometers on it.
Hold up. How?
The previous person that bought it like in the at COVID, and then was like no longer working, so had nowhere else to go, and then passed like 5 months later, something like that.
Oh.
So they never went anywhere.
Yeah, 600 kilometers to a brand new car, still fuck.
Yeah, exactly. But like the discount for that was enormous.
Oh,
right?
yeah, well, he ate the drive off the lot fee, right?
Yeah.
That's a bad one to eat too.
So, but a lot of people are like this, where like if it's new to me, it must be actually new, not just new to me.
But I think also, to Disinfectant's point, that the problem that they have moving these speakers, I don't think that there's really any feasible support for B&O in Australia. I think Eric's still around repairing, but I don't think there is a boutique anymore.
Yeah, there's no branded dealer really, and they had so many issues with the I forget what the importer's name was now.
Mm-hmm.
But they essentially messed it up for Australia and New Zealand because they were, I think, running a sort of side hustle from importing it through Singapore or something.
Yeah, Singapore does ring a bell there a little bit as a midpoint.
And it was strange, and somehow this guy like had a legacy contract that he could be the only one to import it into those countries.
Yeah, and then it went to shit,
Like,
and then COVID
even
happened.
B&O couldn't do it without breaking the contract with him or something, and then I don't know. I think they found something, and then
they
Australia
shook him
had
off.
no support for like a year and a half or something.
Well, it was even before COVID hit that
Yeah.
that this fell apart, and then, well, Australia went pretty hard on the paint with COVID nonsense, so there was absolutely nothing moving for at least 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah,
I know one of my clients that they live in Edmonton, and they have a home in Australia. They got stuck for a year and a half. They couldn't leave from Australia to go home.
yeah, that's crazy.
They had to go on some special ass visas, and I don't know how many pokes they had to like, you know, look like that guy from what is it?
Eraserhead.
Eraserhead, for
David
God's
Lynch
sake.
film.
There you go. We're back full circle. So yeah, they got stuck in there. So, and for that reason, I think that there's like the only sole survivor there right now, I think, is Eric, but he doesn't really have means to bring stuff in. There's no showroom in existence anymore other than whatever these people are getting rid of. And I think the gamble is also like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna buy $75,000 speakers, and if something breaks, I gotta fly the fucking Messiah from Denmark to repair them, or whatever is the closest place, right? And Australia is not the closest, even though if the Earth was flat, it's still fucking far.
Yeah.
So
We do have a friend there that has 90s and an 85-inch Avant.
mhm. So, but yeah, Eric is capable fully to fix them. It's just the fact that, like, how do you obtain a service suitcase? I don't know if he does have a ROS retail access as a service partner still. If he does, then he can do that. But then, I don't know how the warranty would work, because if that store would fall apart, then, well, it would be on a B&O's pocket more or less to send the service suitcase into Australia. Eric goes into the client's home, guts the speaker, replaces all the parts that are faulty, sends it back, and then whoever has paid initially the deposit for the service suitcase will get their money credited back. But then it's not really like you don't get your money back to the account. It's just a credit on your ROS account, I guess.
Yeah, that's
Right. So
annoying.
you still have to then, whatever, like, you need to buy out some parts or whatever in other service calls that you would have in future in order to deplete that, so you can actually get that money in return back from the products that you had repaired, swapped, whatever.
There's actually quite a few people with 50s there, because I remember Eric setting them up for a fair few people.
Mm-hmm. So
I think it's just more hidden somehow, and it's also even more of a niche in like South Africa, in Australia and New Zealand.
yes, but I think, yeah, they need something to represent B&O on that continent, for God's sakes. Like, it's
I
a
mean,
big,
also
big piece of land.
if you have a store in Sydney, right? Like even Melbourne is far away, and they're relatively close together. So if you need, I don't know, if you're in Brisbane and you need to go to Sydney to like go see something, that's literally a 4 hour flight.
Oh,
I mean, Australia is enormous.
yeah, I never been there.
Yeah, I have, and it's essentially from like you can essentially take the plane from every city to every city over, right?
That's insane. But it makes sense if it's that big, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Like, you drive on a fucking desert for how long?
Well, I mean, it has what, like 25 million people, and is about the same size as the lower 48 states of the US.
That's crazy. But nobody lives in the middle.
Yeah, but they all live on the edges.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like having this giant circle. You just literally go, like, there's nothing direct, right? It's
No, no.
only planes.
Yeah, that's insane. But yeah, I think that's the biggest the drawback in Australia, that there is nothing that represents B&O brand, and I think that it's a miss. Even if there's one store that it's a corporate owned, like, it's not doesn't have to be huge. It just needs to have at least a sales guy and a technician,
Yeah.
and that's how we did it in Calgary. It was two guys and an installer, and if two sales guys and an installer, and on the jobs that, like, let's say Scott had a job that didn't require two people, I would run the store for that day, and he would go with Chris and hang TVs on the wall, blah blah blah. Or on the day that this would need to happen, right? Because we would have Chris go in and pre-wire everything and terminate all the shit and blah blah blah. Depends on again, it's very different, because if you do a pre-wire stage at the house is being remoed or rebuilt or brand new build, it's a different story than doing it when you're, let's say you drive out to Edmonton to hang an Avant 55 on the wall. So they would also take the whole day, and I would sit in the store and hold the fort down, and vice
I
versa. If I had a big job, the same thing.
I had just now somewhat of a semi brain fart, but I want to get your take on it. So, like he says, the 50s are X demo discounted for like 75 Australian, which is, I don't know, like
I'm gonna look at it right
50 US, something like that. Would it almost, in like, especially in Australia where there's almost like very little supporters, would it almost not make more sense to give less of a discount but throw in a theater?
now. Yeah, they're $48,000.
I mean, because if you don't have a theater, it's kind of weird to sell 50s, right? Or like a BeoVision solution of any sort.
I would even freaking put a BeoConnect core on it, for God's sakes. Then you're not bleeding too much money out of it, and you have something that in the 50s it fits inside as well. So you have a streaming already built in. You can pull the network directly off the master speaker as well. So you only need one cable between and one cable from the switch.
Yeah,
And then you can run an HDMI into it, I guess. But I would at least start with something more enticing than just here's a box of speakers. If you want to push it out. I'm gonna make me a coffee. This is ridiculous. It should be I don't know.
Tivoli Hi-Fi Australia. Let's see. I've never heard of this store.
Could it also have something to do with the reputation, maybe?
I don't know, maybe.
That's also a question.
They have May Madness, apparently.
What's that? Oh, like a mad sale, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, and they sell essentially every brand.
Oh, okay. So it's a mix mash store.
As in
Maybe that's why they're having a problem selling it, because the guy that actually is trying to sell them may have no or very little understanding of what these are capable of doing.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have them tuned properly, because the microphones are no longer available. And well, they are, but it's a theater mic, which kind of sucks. But I'm happy that I kept mine, or got mine with the welcome package.
Holy moly, they have what, 30, 40 brands they sell?
Oh, geez. There's no way the guy would be able to tell you anything about those speakers in detail.
No. Let's see, what do they have for
At least not on the level that I would want to know if I were to be buying, $50,000 speakers. Well, it's still what, 30 grand off, I guess, which is not bad. My question is how old they are, or are they? Is it a year-old demo, 2-year-old demo? Did you have them since they come out?
If you go to their website and you go to the BioLab and they show 50s, if you go view product, this is what you get, like an empty page.
This is all.
Let's say BioSound view product.
Okay.
Okay.
28% off. Colis.
Because they don't make them. Do they still make them in black, or did they give that one up?
I think that one's gone though.
So view product, view sound theater, error not found. Yeah, this is this is not great support if these people are selling it, right? Like BioLab, literally. Yeah, there is none. Like, okay.
Maybe they sold it.
Yeah, maybe they're getting out of B&O. That surely seems like it.
Not that it's scary, but it looks like it's true.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's sell and clearance items. Sort by alphabetic.
Bowers and Wilkins sub.
Oh, we're already past them. This is already C.
Yeah, so there is not clearance.
So the B&O ones aren't even mentioned. Huh. Yeah, no wonder they're not selling them if you can't even be bothered to put them on your websites.
Yeah.
It seems like they're getting out of B&O, but this is exactly the point, right? Like if the people you buy them from sort of go like, yeah, we don't want this brand anymore. Like it's like, oh, and my warranty? Yeah, that'll be fine. Right? Like, no.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like, who do you fly in to service this somewhere out in the down under, I guess.
Yeah. So interesting. TVly
And to
Hi-Fi.
ship them from Australia would be rather risky and expensive.
Yeah.
Well, it has to go by air freight. That's basically it. And also what condition they are. Do they have the boxes proper? Everything, you know.
He also says a premium sound have a pair of Lab 90s for 100k AUD. That's really goddamn cheap for 90s. That's what, like
Yes.
55 grand or something?
Yeah. Let's see. How much was it?
100.
64. 6430 or 64,300 rather.
That's really cheap for 90s. That's like prices from, I don't know, unless they're the demos from like.
My time.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Man, I am looking forward to gut my room, I tell you that. I was gonna do it before the podcast, but I'm like, I'm not gonna turn my living room into a construction site. But it's gonna happen. Too bad you can't see the other speaker because it's flowers on it.
Yeah. 90s. Sweet. At least these people seem to actually sell it.
Mm-hmm. Or show it.
Let's see, sale.
Bang Olufsen, 0.
Yeah. Maybe they sold already.
That's effective. I'm in Perth. My dealer's 3,300 kilometers away. They gave me $1,000. They gave me $1,000 instead of bothering to fix the scratch that was on my A9 out of the box. Fuck, that's a long ways, bro. 3,300K. That's fuck. I think I would be in Calgary from here,
Yeah,
back
it's
home.
2,000 miles. That's from me to Wisconsin and back again. I mean, it's.
Calgary. Okay. Oh, no.
I think that's like from me to Las Vegas or so.
Directions from home. Finding best route. 3,500 kilometers, bro. Yeah. And that's assuming that I would go through the States, because if I go through Canada, it's actually 3,600 kilometers.
You can buy you'll have 90s with
But
afterpay, so you paid in installments.
for the rest of your natural life, $30 a month, man. It's like, but yeah, that's a long ways away, my friend. See, and you know what? I think here's the problem with what I see, that like if I were to ship to this far of a distance, I would still, like I used to do it. They don't really do it in Quebec on, but is there time for it? Maybe not. I would always open the box and inspect it before I would ship it out.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then I would tell the client, like, I'm gonna look at it. If you want, I can plug it in, update the software so it's ready to rock and roll. But I would like to, yeah, I always inspected the product for any damage if there was any. But to me, that sounds like you maybe gotten a demo and they just packed it nicely, and there's a scratch.
Who knows? Even if there was a scratch, right? Having for them to go like 6,600 kilometers, like there and back again. It's like for a scratch. It's like, yeah, no.
I would have just shipped another A9 and have that one shipped back when it's arrived. You know, that's
Yeah, but that's probably the 1,000, right? That's the shipping cost. Like,
yeah. So fuck it, like do it that way, and then you have a new one without the scratch instead of here's $1,000 and shut up,
you
right?
didn't
Like
say where the scratch was.
I would be choked.
I mean, if it's
Still.
not in the aluminium and on the back, and you want to put it in the corner anyway, like who gives them?
So yeah, Laura, you have to have at least 4 or 5 kids that you can pass the payment plan on to once you pass. Because $30 a month for a $250,000 speakers, that's going to be a lot of months.
Yeah, let's say you get them at a discount for like 150,000 divided by. I mean, that's only 5,000 months.
How many years is that?
416.
Jesus Christ! You might as well go along and get a Patek Philippe, because that whatever that watch is, because with all those dates, because it's about 400 years it takes before they have to adjust it for one day in their calendar. 400 years. Oh Christ! By then the dollar won't be worth a penny.
Yeah. You're literally talking about your great grandchildren still paying for the speakers you bought. Like,
Imagine that. Like,
like so to be paid off in let's see,
in 20.
2441.
A zero interest rate. Holy shit. Yeah, that'd be funny. 400 years. Oh God.
I mean, if you go by today, actually, it'll be 2442 on January 1st. They'll be paid off.
Oh Christ. That's too funny.
Surely by then we should have like Jetsons type cars and things, right?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. And they're pushing for electric, but they're waking up from it. I kind of like the sound of the engine. It's funny that Ford is now disappointed that they can't really sell those electric, not the Hellcats, but chargers, because there's electric chargers, right? You buy a charger to make records. You don't buy a charger to, transport things. So
a friend of mine that lives in Miami, right? Like, it turns out that my gas car actually is cheaper to drive back and forth than his Tesla.
shit.
I mean, he
That's
paid
funny.
like I think he said he paid like $58 or something in terms of electricity, including filling up at his house. And in gas, I paid like 52. So it's marginal, but
Yeah, but you don't have to deal with the range anxiety and pulling over for an hour to charge if you go
oh
somewhere
no, like
farther. Like that doesn't
my
exist.
stop was 5 minutes, and like because I can make it there on one tank in like a third back, and then fill up and make the rest.
That's crazy. Is it a hybrid?
No,
Yours just okay. That's crazy. Yeah. Oh, the
Tivoli,
fact that Tivoli's lost their license, they're selling off their stock. Okay.
if,
Well, that's another incentive to not buy it. If they're losing their license, who are you going to have it serviced then?
if look, if that's the case, right, then I'm buying them at cost to you, or like maybe cost plus 5%, and you need to give a bigger discount because I'm taking a chance. Since like if you don't have your license, you also don't have your license for repair or warranty.
That's right. Well, I guess you could still have a warranty registered through B&O.
Yeah, but like, good luck forcing them to come out, right? If they're not in your country.
Well, it also depends how old they are, because I don't think that B&O likes to warranty now products that you had on a demo. Let's say you have a BeoVision Harmony that you've never sold, right? And it's on the demo. And then you sell it when it's discontinued, right? So you sell your floor demo that's been there for, let's say, 6 years doing the up and down. and then like you want to warranty it fully for 3 years, the B&O will tell you go suck a knob. Like if you want to warranty something, you should rotate your demo stock within a year. That's where the yearly sale is. I
Yeah, but
understand
that's the
it's a
fight
headache,
between B&O and the dealer, right? Not between
right?
B&O and the customer.
No, that's right. But the problem is that B&O might refuse to warranty the product that you had sold as a demo, right? For a demo on a demo sale. But like we're at serial number is 3738 now, but this has a serial number of 29 something or 30, right? 30. So that it's few years old.
Yeah, okay, but how as a customer are you supposed to know that?
No, you don't know, but if you're buying like I'm saying the example for these, like when the fuck were they like if I were to buy them, I would request the serial numbers
Yeah. But
first of all.
if the warranty starts as soon as you as a customer put them in your app, right? Like at what point can B&O just say, actually, you thought you had warranty, but no?
That's what I'm saying. That they
Yeah.
might refuse the warranty because that product has been in use for let's say 6 years or whatever, right?
Okay, but they're in use with your dealer.
They're still fucking plugged in. They're still playing, and I'm sure when they're playing them, they're not playing them like I'm playing my 90s on the piano a little bit, freaking, volume 45. Like you have people that come into the store, you fucking can on them for 2-3 songs, and I don't think that's just that good for electronics overall.
Sure, but they
But they're
better
plugged
be
in.
deadly accurate in their wording whenever you buy something ex demo. Then, if they're going down that road, because like
No, my point, Mikey, is that you should, as a store, as a dealer, you should rotate your
I
product
agree with
within the
that. Yeah.
showroom every year. That's what the point of the store demo sale is. But like I'm saying, if they skipped out on it or they just didn't bother selling it till now the hammer fell, they might get their warranty declined because they had them for so long. They should have rotated and buy another pair. Blah blah blah.
I mean, as a financial sort of tax thing, it's probably a better thing to do anyway, right? Because you write them off much quicker that way and sell them. And
That and also like for us, I don't know if the 90s roll into the same thing because 90s are not an everyday sell product, right? Like we've had those now for a year and a half, maybe 2 years standing there. They never play. Honestly, they never play. They play maybe once every week that Kareem turns them on, or maybe more. That I'm not there. I don't know, but it's not like they're constantly turned on. Like I've had mine, right? Like when I got home, fucking speakers were on till my eyes closed, but not in disturbing volumes. Like, but you're still utilizing all of the boards and electronics inside the speaker, so they're still on. So
yeah, I mean, I'll wait another what
we'll let them bleed.
12 months and maybe make a sneaky offer like, hey, Kareem, I have some of these Canados.
Canada dollars.
These Canadian rupees.
Canadian rupees.
I mean, I know what other people sell them for. Maybe you need to rotate them and send them here.
There's a pair that one guy's trying to sell for 100K black. No panels. Well,
No
there's panels, but they're broke. They're broken off the pins and shit, and he's missing 2, I think. But that's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, how old are those? Like new or used?
No, I think they're my age.
Somebody will make an offer.
Oh yeah, it's not a public sale. I guess it's public sale now, but yeah, there was a pair of 90s for 100 in Montreal.
I mean, you still have to be like, it's still like, God, maybe not in Canada anymore, but maybe it's still like a sixth of a house, right, in Canada, like for speakers.
Oh yeah, no, it's a lot. You could buy an apartment, not a good one, but you could buy an apartment for let's say 125, 150 grand.
Yeah, or you can have some speakers.
We can have some speakers. And live in the boxes they came with. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that's always weird in the high end, right? If you start equating it to other stuff, where it's like, I mean, maybe in Europe not so much, or in the Netherlands because the house prices are so ridiculous. But like,
this is a price of a nowadays with the pricing. This is the price of a like an average little car.
Well, if you were to rebuy it like your 90s in your theater, you're buying a Porsche.
No, not but I'm talking just the theater.
Yeah.
Just the theater as a TV on its own is a price of a, I guess a used car, but you still can get a car. But I guess it depends how you convert money to whatever's tangible to you and valuable to you.
Yeah, let's see. The theater starts off at
astronomical money
for the 65-inch. Here, anyway. It's 23.
Canadian market is terrible, DJ Neo. It's a shit show here, and it's to the irony of it. Before we move on to the theater, Montreal was one of those places in Canada where people would start their life, and it was the cheapest rent that you can get more or less within the entire country. That's that would mark the beginnings of your whatever career. But now it's the prices that are the same that are in Vancouver, same as Calgary, same as Toronto. Good luck finding a decent place to live in for under $2,000, and then pile the utilities on top.
Yeah, for people outside of Canada, the only good thing is that your money is worthless almost, right? Like the exchange rate is so bad. But if you're in Canada making Canadian dollars, like you're just screwed.
Mm-hmm. And taxed to shit.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so yeah, 23,450 for that's
65
including the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's including the screen. Because this is the BeoVision, not the BeoSound.
But that's a C panel, probably by default.
Yeah, so including sales tax, that's what, almost 25 grand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can get quite a decent car for that.
Yep. Or put down that money for a decent car and pay a little bit a month, because you won't be having huge payments then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends what you compare things to, right? It's you can have a Bugatti Veyron or you can have a few $1 million mansion, right?
I mean, you can buy like a pretty low mileage, like 8-year-old BMW for this sort of money around here, anyway.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's not like you're buying, I don't know, some Econobox.
Mm-mm. No, you can buy a German-made car for that money. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't go anywhere, so we only have one car between the two of us. It's a Kia.
Yeah, for me, it's
like I'm daily looking at my priorities, right? Like I go to the garage and there's my blue little race monster that you can floor, and it still is like, ooh, fuel.
Fuel. Yeah, just sipping it.
Yeah, I mean, I especially with U.S. fuel prices versus Europe, right? Like it's fucking laughable. It's so nice.
Wow, here it's funny. No, it's not funny. Like in Alberta, I think the gas is $1.15 a liter, and here it's $1.66. So it's a 50-cent difference between.
Yeah, in Canadian dollars, I think we're like 95 cents or something like that.
Yeah, it's here it's expensive. It's too much tax. But everything is expensive. Then subsequently your food goes expensive because somebody's got to drive that shit to the goddamn store to begin with. So
you might as well start farming horses. New mode of transport that only costs some hay.
Fucking ponies on my balcony, I guess. The fuck are you talking about? Start a chicken coop on the balcony. I wonder how long would that last before the city and everybody else would be up my ass. Have a rooster go off at 4 or 5 in the morning as soon as the light hits. So yeah, we'll see. We're ever so closer and closer to the 100th anniversary. So I am again very, very curious to what will happen. We know that we're losing the 18s this year.
Yeah, which is sad.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to be losing the 19. shortly to follow after. Or that may remain in the portfolio as a dumb speaker because, quite honestly, it's a subwoofer. And if they come up with another sub, which will be definitely Mozart because they're going to try to push the DPL on it, then let's say the new sub came out with the Mozart platform, right? Would you add it to your 8s? And then my question is, do you use the Mozart platform streaming in the sub to stream to the speakers?
Yeah.
Right? Because that's logically how that would work through DPL. You can still have a full control over the button interface, but your brain or the core essentially would be the sub. And then another question comes up: would that then compete / nor cannibalize the sales of BeoLab 8s? Because now if you buy, let's say, a sub with 2 emerges, would that be a better sound?
If it works the same way as with the theater, right? I don't think it matters which platform, because like if you DPL the aids to the theater, you can use the top to control the theater and vice versa.
Exactly.
So that should be all right. But you will run into like weird combos like that where somebody says, I want a sub in balances or a sub in levels or whatever Mozart based.
The only thing that is I think it's a significant miss, but maybe it's not that much. There should be a balance correction between the speakers when they're stereo paired.
Yes.
Because if you sit in somewhere not on axes, which at the end of the day nobody does, you can't really adjust for that.
Yeah, wide mode isn't good enough. It's like you still have the volume differential. That's too much.
Yeah.
Knowledge seekers. Do you guys think we're gonna have second gens 18s and 18s for sure? No, because the chassis doesn't fit all the Mozart stuff. 19s,
and it's too much aluminium to blast through as far as all that nonsense that it needs.
Yeah, 19. Unlike part of the reason why it's unlikely is that you're gonna mess with sales, right? Because if it's the same chassis and everything, it'll be the details that most people will either not be aware of or not be made aware of, and then like you sort of go like, oh, I bought this new thing and it's actually the old thing that we no longer make. It's the same reason why I think if they replace the harmony, subwoofer, it's gonna be called something else.
Yes.
Or it'll have the definitive Mark II behind it, or Gen 2, or whatever, right?
The design will slightly change, just like it did with the BeoVision 7s when they came out with a DVD and the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray had a longer lip on the bottom, so that was a visual cue that which one had DVD or Blu-ray. But then once it had a Blu-ray, was it a Mark IV or Mark V? You wouldn't know.
Yeah, but it was yeah. So for the 18s, you can't change them enough to like put touchscreens and stuff in. At least I don't think, not in a way that you wouldn't redesign them completely anyway.
Well, no, because the top of the lens is machined out of a solid piece of aluminium.
Yeah, even if it was touch on the back or something like the A9, right? Like you still have to have like wires and capacitors and shit in there, and that may get into the cabinets of the drivers in front of it.
Well, it would be in the cabinet space, so then you have to seal all that sufficiently.
But that's a total redesign at that point. Why does not redesign the whole thing?
Yes. And I think it's the acoustic lens that really has the writing on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they feel like paying for that license anymore.
Yeah.
If you can do it
I think the 50s are going to be the last. Yeah, I think the 50s are the last acoustic lens product that ever came out.
I wonder if it's the same license since it's like a moving lens, right?
That's a very interesting point. Yeah, because they made only a static lens, right?
Yeah.
As a patent. So I don't know. That's a very good point. Maybe they'll have another motorized lens. Maybe they'll finally do something with a motorized baseboard. That would be something that you only have patents on it. So why not make it happen?
Look, I'm sad to see 19s go to, or 18s go to. Like the 19, I care slightly less about, even though it's a very good subwoofer. Like if
It's got this very like the look of it isn't the die for. It looks nice, but it's not to die for.
but that's kind of what makes it nice, right? Because it's also not offensive in any which way. It's not like your
No,
square
no,
box. It's sort of like, hey, what's that? Like,
fair.
there's no need for the shroud to be there, right? Like, but they just
No, it
did it to
doesn't.
make it look a lot nicer.
Jet fighter turbine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that sub. It's good. But
I mean, it's just
yeah, I
not.
think
It's
whatever
not
is
like
new.
wow, gorgeous. But then again, how do you make a sub gorgeous? It's our
It's
90s.
already gorgeous as it is compared to the boxes that you normally get.
Yeah, are 90s too expensive for what they are? Yes, mostly.
60/40.
Yeah.
That's almost pretty. That's a pretty interesting divide. I didn't troll. I said yes. No, bang, put him more. Put him more.
Well, I mean, the increases do need to stop. Like, come on.
Yeah, well, that's it. You only can milk the cow till the tits are dry, and that's it's starting to look that way. But maybe I don't know, that they're gonna price themselves out of our reach, and there's still gonna be people that are paying that money. I guess it's the same. You can buy a Alessi kettle for $250, or you can just go to IKEA and buy one for $13, right? So, or $20, whatever. I don't know how much kettles are in fucking IKEA. But yeah.
Let's see what the. I know it's an odd question, but that's on partially on purpose. Is the 3000C combo priced correctly? Whatever you think that means. I mean, does it make sense even though you can't purchase it yourself, or is it insane even though you can purchase it? Like whatever that means to you.
I downloaded a video from the ROS, but I don't know. We need to figure this out maybe for the two podcasts after or the next one. We're back online again. It's too late now, anyways. But it's a video. It's an interview with Christian and Jeff regarding the tuning and things that come to play with the theater, and it's a very interesting video. And there's a couple good tips, I guess I would say,
Is
that
that
might be
for
beneficial.
public consumption or?
It has no internal use only on it. So
I'll ask Christian.
I'm gonna ping him too. I'll show him which one. I'll send him the article. But it's nothing. It's nothing strange. It just basically it talks about with the room compensation per se with the microphone. If you're not satisfied with the location or with the way that it sounds, I don't know. It never really worked for me. But if you move the microphone, let's say to the corner and rerun the comp, it doesn't change the measurements apparently on the speakers. It just changed the tuning of the internal how the
Wait, so
theater
it
does
doesn't
it.
change the distances if you rerun it?
No, apparently. So
Huh?
you can move it about and find the sweet spot for the microphone where it sounds the best after it's tuned. Very interesting.
I'm gonna try that because I just like I bought some like thick underlayment for my carpet in the living room, and like I moved my couch like 6 inches back. So I'm gonna see, I'll take a screenshot, see if it changes anything.
Hmm. But and also they talk about the redirection levels and so on and so forth, and how to undo the sweet spot that the theater tunes for when you
Yeah.
have, let's say, a 3-seat couch when you tune for the middle, and how you reduce the distances on each side of the couch so the sound arrives equally to both participants sitting on the couch or both people. Yeah, it's nothing. Like I said, it's not it's nothing proprietary really, but I feel like that video honestly should have been made public on their website, as far as not website, but like on their B&O YouTube feed. If you wanted to, like tips and tricks on how to properly do your theater up, because a lot
Yeah,
of that
like
stuff it's all identical to, let's say, BioVision Avant and Harmony, like on the old ASC platform per se. Like all those things are in there as well in the menu, but they're just a little deeper in. Where everything now is in the app, which kind of is cool and kind of sucks, because if you're somewhere where you don't have the network per se, you are unable to deal with the product, right? In any rate, because you have to have it on the network in order to modify any settings, which old TVs didn't have that requirement.
yeah, like you can just put it here.
Yes.
Like
So
it already has like the sound guide right here. Like just make it part of the sound guide or part of the FAQ or whatever.
mhm. But yeah, it was a very informative. It's like about 13, 14 minutes long, so it's not the shortest clip, but it's very informative. So I thought that, well, I'm sorry to bring it up this late, but I will definitely figure out the way that we can share this knowledge, because I try to put it on the Discord, right? But it's just too big of a file to let me do it, and it wants to cut it down. So, and there's no point for that. So we'll need to
Um,
figure out. Maybe I'll just transfer that video to
do you
you,
know how
and
big
then
it is?
I'm just going to look because I don't remember. Uh,
Because I may be able to put it down on there, or maybe compress it a bit, like just make it 720p instead of like full HD, because it's more about
545. Yeah, it's 2340 by 1080. That's a screen recording uh, that I did. It's 545 megs.
yeah. Maybe try and send it to me.
Half a gigabyte.
Yeah, if you send it through WhatsApp or whatever, it gets compressed anyway.
Mm.
See if it can do that. Go on, Zuckerberg.
That's
Fix
it.
this
It
shit.
stacks up his server, fudge sticks. But yeah, it's a, like I said, it's a very informative video. And since there's really no new product, might as well just have some more tips and tricks how to play with your existing product that you have in the house per se. And
Yeah, because I need to redo some of the stuff in my living room, like I just said. Because I mean, I put like you have these pads you can put under your carpet, right? And I bought one that's like I don't know, it's like this thick, and it's like this
mhm.
soft felt, and it makes walking nicer, but it also absorbs some more like room ambience and
My problem is that if I put anything thicker, then I'm going to have that outline of it right underneath the carpet, because I don't have a shag carpet. It's the flat thing, and you could already see the line, see through here, right?
yeah.
That's where the underlining finishes. And yeah, and then when my girlfriend's cat's here, she tries to put those rubber, what is it, those elastic bands for hair, right? Hair bands. She just fucking shoves them right under the carpet, and I tell her not to do it, and then she looks at me, but it's already under there. I have to get it out, right? You know how cats are.
Yeah.
So
One
that's
of my
it. And
cats is like that. Certain stuff needs to be hidden to then be found. Like, ooh, I didn't know this was here.
it's fun. But yeah, no, she's a good kitty. She doesn't fuck with my speakers, and that's it. That's I like that.
That's all you can really ask for anyway.
That's it. She did, for some reason, have an affection to chewing walnut, which is not fucking cool, because she did a little bit of a chewing on my bed frame. So it's still sandable and fixable, but like, what the fuck, cat? You got all this stuff, you're chewing on wood. I swear to
Riley, I
God, she
bet they
was a
used to.
dog in the past life too.
Yeah.
I think that's a dog reincarnated to cat, because yeah, she does have some certain things that she does, and like that's what dog would do. But yeah, it's fun. One thing that's funny also that I can't really watch, like that little game that I watch and whatever on the YouTubes every now and then. I can't do it when the cat's around, because she fucking jumps at the screen for the mouse pointer. And but Is the price
So
of the BeoTalk theater acceptable to you? I think yes, for one reason. It's a system that you will have for at least a decade, if not more.
yeah,
And then the only thing that you change is the screens
it's
as they
essentially
go
a
good.
6040 with is the 3000C combo priced correctly. No 63, yes 60, 36,
Hmm.
which is interesting. And I wonder what people mean by no. I like, should it be higher? Is it
Hmm.
like, should, because it's one of 100, right? Like, is it almost cheapening it, or is it no? It's too expensive.
Yeah, it's a very weird. It's a weird word question.
I mean,
But
I
I don't
can
know.
sort of understand for a few people if they would say no, it needs to be more expensive. Like, I can find that reasoning somewhere.
My question is, what is the thought process implemented into making the decision of that price being that particular number?
Yeah, because like, I mean, 30 grand is not very little money. And
Yeah,
if
like who comes up with that? Maybe it was let's put it for 50, and somebody's like, no, 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 that's too much. Let's go to 30. Or somebody goes 25. No, it's 30 would be a better price for it.
I bet you this is a lot of spreadsheet talk that they do internally, and like they do these weird surveys that nobody ever really wants to be in, and
Or excuse me, is there a lump sum predefined lump sum goal that we're producing these men? This is how many, or whatever. Like we need to make this much money. How many limited edition do we do? 100 of them, or do we do 150 of them? At what price point? Like if we make 100, then it's 100 on a 100th year anniversary, right? You can charge a little extra because now if you make like one out of 200, then it's the exclusivity goes down by a half, right? Because now
yeah.
it's 200 of them. So I don't know, man. It's six of one, half dozen the other. But I really wonder what the logic path is to what the pricing is that it ends up with. Like, why not more? Why not less? And because at the end of the day, like you can order those exact same BioLab 8s through Atelier program.
Yeah, there's nothing special about them.
Nowadays it isn't because the
Yeah.
Atelier came out, right? Which that's what another thing is, like you're making all this limited edition stuff, but the only real collectible in that entire setup is that turntable.
What irks me a little bit is that like the eights are like full on atelier, like the blasted, right? But the feet aren't.
Yeah.
Like, why does this not match? Like, it's kind
Hmm.
of, I, unless it's like a purpose contrast, but it's a bit strange.
Yeah, that is a little bit weird. It should have been the same color in my opinion.
Because like the sand or the pearl blasting matches from the eights to the record deck.
Yes.
So
It just doesn't carry on the bottom. Maybe you get them with when you order it, but they come. Maybe that's just the pictures, that the way they are, because they don't look like the renderings at this point, at least.
but apparently
That,
there's a fair few, at least a handful of people that already like put their orders in.
good for them, dude.
Yeah, like, but if they on day one can go, yes, 30 grand for this, yes, great. Like, I haven't even seen it, I just heard about it. Like,
Yeah, but how many of those people may have been the ones that had missed the 4000C train, right?
yeah,
Completely
exactly. But
on
would they
day.
then mind if it was like 35, 40? I don't know.
I guess that's why they're buying it for 30 because it's a
Yeah.
good deal. I see.
Or, I mean, should they have done this more like make it 50 with 28s?
I think with 28s it would have been more expensive, but I think the logic of this presentation makes more sense to me as having like you have a nice piece of furniture, you put this on top of it, and then you have basically a full system within one environment. Where if you have the 28s, they're floor standing, where the fuck do you put a turntable? Now you got to talk about a cabinet that's going to be from BNO for another 30K or whatever, right?
So it's a 100 grand
So-
system.
So there you go. So then probably that was the logic, and they're like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just make them on table stands, and we'll save money. We'll put the regular silver ones on. Who cares? And c'est ça.
The bottom
So-
of the... Let's see. It does look like that. Or is that just a picture? Let's see.
Let's see.
They are marked on this platter. That's something that's not... I don't
They're
think.
probably the same. What's it called? The same finish. They have to be, man. It just doesn't look like that in the picture because they probably forgot to swap it on the rendering.
Yeah, but they did put the B&O logo in the front here, which isn't normal, I don't think.
No,
I don't remember there being a B&O logo on the regular
No.
8s.
no, there is not. There is no logo on there.
Like there's not a picture like 45 degrees down, but you can clearly see the little logo here in the front.
That's extra $5 grand, bro.
So there is a logo there.
Is it a B&O or does it say 1 of 100 as
I
the?
think it says both B&O and whatever number of 100.
You better not dent that platter. Fudge sticks. 22 out of 100. Why don't they have 1 out of 100 for the freaking show? Yeah, weird, eh? Somebody already bought the first one. It's like, oh fuck, we didn't even take pictures, Hans. Let's go.
Oops.
So how many are gone? 21. Shit. Okay, let's open the 22nd.
Well, I guess that's 630 grand sold.
Boom.
It's not bad. Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad. So yeah, it's
This-
funny when you put it into perspective because it's $3 million basically
Uh,
for 100 turntables.
is the price of BeoVision acceptable to you? It's literally 50-50. Well, 52-47, but that's as good as 50-50 as you're going to get.
Mm-hmm. That 21st votes fucked us up.
Interesting. Anyway, I still have to do a bunch of stuff, and I'm sure you.
Oh, I'm gonna have a good time. I forgot to take the steak out of the freezer, son of a bitch. But that's on another level.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
I'm,
gonna be
like,
digging
leaving.
through my storage.
Because I have to drive like over 2,000 kilometers in the next few days, and it's like, oh, I don't wanna.
Buy a few cigars. Buy a few cigars, man. Just puff on them as you go. It's fun.
The thing is, it's not my car that I'm taking.
Even better.
I guess if you don't
Yeah,
pay
that
for-
won't slide. Yeah, that won't slide. Get one of those USB sticks to suck on, I guess.
No, I'm not vaping. That's no, just no.
You're gonna have to update the software on the cigar
Yeah.
cigarillo thing, whatever. Anyways, we're blathering. We
Yeah,
will see you in 3 weeks' time, I guess. So
If all goes
Enjoy.
well, I'll be back on the 22nd for this. I'll be back home like earlier than that, but yeah. Anyway,
we'll go from there.
have
If
a
we don't
good-
see us, have a nice break, everybody.
Yeah, have a good one. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching.